Hello, Erin. Do you have a bit of time? We need to talk.
Yeah, sure, Mom. What's up? I'm sort of surprised to hear from you. What is it you want to talk about?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to know, did you get a New Year's gift from my brother? I was just wondering.
Your brother? I'm not even sure. Did you even have a brother? I'm really not sure.
Do you remember I introduced you to an older guy named Mark? I remember you talking to him briefly. That gift was from him. Are you sure you don't remember getting some package from him?
I can't remember. What did he look like? There were a lot of people there, and I was introduced to a bunch of them. Not sure who you mean. And you say he was some older guy, but that whole house was filled with old folks. It was like an old folks' home. Sorry, I really don't remember.
I'm sure you remember. I saw you talking to him. He's the one that gave you a little gift, or should I say gave some money.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah, I remember him. Mark, right?
Well, I suppose there were a lot of people there.
They all look pretty much the same, those old folks. Can't tell one from another. I'm not even sure I'd remember him if he showed up at my door.
Yeah, I suppose so. When people get old, they tend to be forgotten. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying, he said he sent a package to your place. He said it was 100% grass-fed beef from out west. Are you sure you didn't receive such a package?
Oh, yeah, I think I did get a package of beef sometime back. I think it was like 2 weeks ago or something. Can't really remember.
Didn't you realize it was from Mark? I mean, didn't you even check who it came from?
Yeah, well, it was right about Christmas time, so I had gifts and packages arriving every day, so it must have gotten mixed up in the melee. Gets pretty hectic during that season. It's hard to keep track of things, you know. I was opening packages left and right. I do remember getting a package of beef. I thought it was from my folks, to be honest.
But if you don't check who it's from, it would be a bit inconvenient, wouldn't it? You wouldn't be able to thank the person for sending it. You seem to not be aware of who any of those gifts are from.
Huh? Does it even matter? I mean, these gifts are just some sort of routine, right? Like get well cards. It would take so much time to contact each and every person that sends us a gift. It would take so long the beef would spoil. Besides, nobody expects me to write them back a thank you note. Seems a bit old-fashioned to me. But I do send out an emoji now and again to some people.
But Mark was a bit concerned. He wasn't sure if you had received it or not. Apparently it was some very expensive beef.
Huh? It is way too much trouble to acknowledge every darn package I receive. Why would I even have to do that? I didn't ask him to send me anything, right?
Well, true, but I think he sent it to you guys out of kindness, so figured you would be happy to receive such a gift. Maybe he was expecting some gratitude. He did go out of his way to buy it and have it sent. I think that would merit a thank you, don't you think? I bet he would be overjoyed to get a call from you thanking him for the gift.
Like I said, we didn't ask for it. Why should I thank him for sending something I didn't even want? It makes no sense to me.
I thought you said you wanted to try some of that beef. That's what he said.
I never said such a thing. I never asked him to send me any beef. I could go down to the supermarket and buy all I want. Why would I ask him to send it? Anyways, these Christmas gifts from relatives are not really for the person receiving them, but more like the person sending it getting satisfaction out of it. You know what I mean? Like they're doing it to get attention or something. So, seems a waste of time to be thanking people like that. You can thank him for me, how's that?
Well, I suppose you young people think that way recently. Anyways, I'm just glad that you got the package. I just wanted to make sure is all. I'll tell Mark you received it and thank him on your behalf.
Yeah, could you? I'd appreciate it. It would be way easier. And while you're at it, could you tell him we don't need any more Christmas gifts from him? We get plenty as is.
Yes, okay, I'll tell him that, but I know how you feel about this, but, you know, Erin, I really think you should have shown a little more appreciation to your relatives.
Are you lecturing me?
No, oh, please don't take it the wrong way. I'm not lecturing you at all. It's just that I was just like you when I first got married and had to get along with my mother-in-law like you are now. And like you, I was always wondering why I had to do this or that and everything was such a hassle, but
yeah, I really hate all these useless formalities and niceties that I have to contend with. Like I said, what a total hassle.
There are things that you have to quietly put up with when you get married. I know it may be a source of annoyance to you, but if you don't thank people, everyone will get the impression that you're ungrateful, that you don't have proper manners. I'm sure you don't want your relatives being angry at you all the time. I mean, we do get together now and again at Christmas or some family event. Just better to keep things cordial, you know.
So what are you saying, Mother, that I'm bad-tempered, a disrespectful daughter-in-law, is that it? I mean, think about it. He's sending me stuff I didn't even ask for. I can't believe that you're criticizing me, for God's sake.
I'm not criticizing you. I'm just trying to be helpful for your own good. I assure you that keeping in good graces with your relatives will be to your benefit, is all I'm saying. I'm just concerned for you and my son. I know all this from experience.
Yeah, sure. You say you're concerned and that you're trying to be helpful, but to me, it all just sounds like self-importance to me. To be honest, I don't think you've ever really liked me, Mother. I'm the outsider that took your son. Sure sounds like it to me. You think the younger generation doesn't know the real world and has no experiences. You really think we're all so naive and need your help.
Oh, please, Aaron, you're completely misinterpreting what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry if I've offended you in any way. That was not my intention. I'm sorry, I suppose you're right. An old woman as myself shouldn't be butting into affairs of you younger kids.
Yeah, whatever. Like I said, this is really a hassle, but I'll call and thank your brother if that makes you feel good, okay? Now, can we be finished here? I'm really busy. This is really getting a bit irritating. All this nagging is giving me a headache.
I'm really sorry for upsetting you. It really wasn't deliberate. I was only trying... Anyway, I'll let you go. But thanks for agreeing to call and thank him. That at least puts my mind at ease. Hey, Neil, are you there? Are you guys okay? I mean, your marriage. How's it going with you guys?
Huh? What are you talking about, Mom?
You remember that you received a gift from Uncle Mark, right? I just talked with him and he still hasn't gotten a call or even a letter to thank him for that gift he sent. You know, the package of expensive beef? I talked to Erin about it last week and she reassured me that she would call and thank him. But I just got off the phone with Uncle Mark and he hasn't heard a peep from you guys yet. This is really worrisome.
Let me stop you right there, Mom. What are you even talking about? I don't know anything about a gift.
That package of 100% grass-fed beef that Uncle Mark sent. She said you guys received it a few weeks ago.
Wait a sec. Are you saying that package of beef was from Uncle Mark? I had no idea.
Oh, don't tell me you knew nothing about it. Haven't you heard anything from Erin about it?
No, she didn't say a word about it.
I texted her last week and verified it with her. She said she received it and that she would call Mark and thank him. Are you guys even communicating? I can't believe you didn't know anything about it. Just so you know, the other relatives are talking about you guys. I would be a little more considerate.
Talking about us, huh? Like what?
Well, not even acknowledging, much less thanking Uncle Mark for the gift she received. And at the family gathering last Thanksgiving over at Aunt Ginny's place, everyone said Erin was really rude and a little patronizing toward them. What I'm saying is that there's talk that you and Erin are disrespectful and ill-mannered towards your relatives, acting as though you're above them. I'm just telling you all this because I'm worried for you is all. Don't think I'm saying this out of malice.
What the hell are you talking about? You mean to tell me you and all of our relatives are talking behind our backs and belittling us?
Nobody's belittling you guys. I just think they're all just a little disappointed in you guys is all. They're not angry or anything. Don't get me wrong, Neil.
No. I think they are talking trash about us. I know it. I know why, too. It's because I married a woman that is 10 years younger than me. That's it, isn't it? I knew they were upset about that.
No, you don't understand. Age difference has nothing to do with it. If you just acted properly, like thanking Uncle Mark, stuff like that, well, I'm sure nobody would be saying anything.
What? What do you mean? We're not doing anything wrong. Would you stop accusing us of some kind of bad behavior?
Then, what's with not thanking Uncle Mark for that gift? What about that? And it looks like she never even told you she even received that gift. When I asked you about it a minute ago, you had no idea what I was talking about. I don't blame your relatives for getting upset.
Yeah, well, it was just that I was really busy right about that time. Must have forgotten about it. And I think Erin had other things on her mind. Probably just forgot. She's not like that. I'll be careful from now on. I'll talk to Erin about it later today. I'm sure she'll understand. So don't worry about it, okay?
Yeah, would you please? I'm just a little worried is all. You know how Erin can get sometimes.
What the hell do you mean by that, Mom? No, I don't know how she can get. What do you mean exactly?
Well, it's just the way she responds, the words she chooses to use. People tend to react negatively to how she responds. That upsets some people. Just saying. I sometimes think she's just a spoiled kid.
Spoiled kid? Are you kidding me? She's nothing like that. She forgot to thank Uncle Mark because she's just forgetful. That's all. It wasn't out of malice. And about her attitude. She's not good around people. She's actually kind of shy, and people tend to see her as aloof. And Mom, I would appreciate you not carrying on like this. I was finally able to marry. I don't want to lose her, so please, don't make us think about every little thing, would you? Better than me being single, right?
Yeah, well, yes, of course, but I can't just pass it off as her being forgetful.
I mean, she just forgot to call and thank Uncle Mark. So what? You have to ignore little stuff like that. Don't go nitpicking about every darn thing that comes up. You just drove her crazy, and then what? So, just let things be. Nobody's perfect, Mom.
Yes, I know that, but
Why do you all have to gang up on her and trash talk her for being a little forgetful, huh? And just so you know, Erin is aware that all the relatives are talking behind her back. She knows they don't think much of her. Erin's very sensitive too. And she feels bad about all of this. I'm sure she feels sad. Don't you have sympathy for her, Mom? Poor Erin.
she feels sad, huh? Did she say that?
Yeah. She was still bothered by what you said to her last week. She seemed really depressed all week. She said she didn't want to talk to you anymore. That it would only upset her even more. She was traumatized by your scolding.
Well, I never meant to scold her, and I told her that. I'm sorry that I may have upset her, but that was not my intention.
So, you admit you did upset her? I knew it. Mom, would you please not talk trash about her? It will only upset her. She feels really bad about all this. Have a little pity, Mom.
Neil, you got this all wrong. That was not my intention.
Intention or not, just please stop tormenting her. Why are all you guys ganging up on her? What did she do that was so wrong? I just wish you would have a little more understanding for her. What if all your nagging and scolding leads to us getting divorced? Will you take responsibility for such an outcome, Mom? Mom? Are you there? Listen, Mom, I don't want you interfering with Aaron and me anymore.
Pardon me, what is this about, Neil? What do you mean, not interfering?
To be honest, Erin is very upset about you always being on her back. She can't sleep some nights. She's super depressed by your meddling in our affairs.
Depressed? I'm not meddling in anything. What exactly did I do that would depress her so much?
I'm surprised you don't know. Really, Mom? It's your constant intrusion in her life. You're always scolding her or belittling for every minor detail. That's the reason for her depression.
Neil, I've never scolded or belittled her, ever. I would never do such a thing. I cautioned her about that one thing. That was the only time.
Come on, Mom. Don't give me that. Then why the hell is she so down? Tell me that. I bet you don't even know you're doing it. I bet you're contacting her every day and nagging her about every little thing.
Are you joking, Neil? Why would I do such a despicable thing? I really wish you would believe your mother, Neil.
No, Mom, I can't believe you anymore. So, please, just stop interfering in our lives. Stop contacting us.
How many times do I have to repeat myself, Neil? I never scolded her, not once.
Yeah, right, Mom. She wouldn't be in that somber state if you hadn't said all those awful things to her. I just don't want you ever meddling in Aaron's affairs ever again. You got that, Mom? And that goes for me, too.
Are you telling me to not even contact you guys? Ever?
Yeah, for now. I would much rather you kept your distance. And it's not just you, Mom. We don't want anything to do with the rest of our relatives either. At least for now. To be honest, I hate the way you and all the relatives treat Erin. I despise all of you for treating her that way.
I see. I contacted her thinking I was being kind to her, so it would make it easier for her to get along with the rest of our family. I thought she would appreciate my gesture of goodwill. If that's how you feel about all this, well, I suppose there's no other choice.
So, you finally understand, huh? Just so you know, this is basically all your fault. You caused all of this. From now on, please don't interfere or meddle in our affairs.
Are you saying you want to completely cut ties with your family?
Well, we didn't have to go that far, but we'll see how it goes going forward. If things get out of hand, well, that could happen. Just keep that in mind. If you don't want that, just stay out of our lives.
Okay, Neil, I understand what you're saying. No need to say more. You want it that way, you got it. You want nothing to do with me and the rest of my family, that's fine. And if you want to cut ties with us, that's fine too. And that means no more us sending $1,000 every month as support.
Huh? Excuse me? What are you talking about? What $1,000?
I'm talking about the support payment. I've been sending you $1,000 every month to help you guys out. You don't want anything to do with me? Well, that means I will cut all financial support too. Makes sense, right?
What financial support? What are you talking about? This is the first I'm hearing about this.
How could you not know about that? Erin asked us for support and we've been depositing that amount in her account every month. Don't tell me you don't know about that.
She never told me a thing about that. Is that really true? You're depositing $1,000 every month?
That's right. She contacted us about 4 months ago and requested that we help her out financially. And we agreed to send her $1,000 a month. She said they couldn't make ends meet with your meager salary and that you guys needed our help. I had a bit of my own savings, so I felt sorry for her and decided to use that to help her out.
That can't be right, Mom. My salary isn't meager. Actually, it's higher than average. We're not exactly just getting by, as you put it. That's why Erin can stay home as a housewife. No need for her to work. We don't need any help.
But the fact remains, I'm sending her the money every month. I could show you the receipts. could you not know about any of this?
I had no idea. She never told me.
Are you telling me she hasn't told you anything?
If I knew you were sending us money, I wouldn't be arguing with you. Or talk about cutting ties, for Pete's sake. I feel bad about this now.
So, does that mean Erin is doing this on her own? That she's pocketing all that money for herself? She is your wife, Neil. What's going on here?
How am I supposed to know? This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
That means that your wife, Erin, has been swindling money from me for the past 4 months, and you had no idea this was going on? What was she using all that money for? I knew there was something strange Erin wasn't telling me. I thought she was acting kind of strange. I asked her about it once, but she just brushed me off, and she hasn't said anything about it since. You both didn't want me interfering, so I haven't contacted her in a while, unlike your earlier accusations.
I don't know what to do. Am I supposed to believe you? Or my wife, Erin? Is it really true about the money? What the hell am I supposed to do, Mom?
Why don't you check her bank account? You'll definitely see I've been depositing money every month. Then you'll know it's all true. I'll bet you anything there are other things she's hiding from you. None of this adds up. She's been acting strange ever since you guys got married. Hey, Neil, are you there? Did you tell your mom, in very clear terms, that we don't want her meddling in our affairs? I just don't want anything to do with your relatives. It's just such a hassle. They are so condescending towards me. I can't stand them. Just hurry up and cut ties with them once and for all.
Are you for real, Erin? It seems Mom and the relatives are the ones that don't want anything to do with you. What's up with that? I really can't believe you anymore. I trusted you.
Huh? How could you say that to me? I was hurt by what your mom said to me and then what the relatives think of me. And now you don't even believe your own wife?
Mom just told me yesterday. You've been getting money from my mom for the past 4 months or so. And you didn't tell me? What's going on here, Erin? She tells me that you've been receiving $1,000 a month. Is this true? What are you up to? What's the money for?
Did your mom tell you to do that? Is that who you heard it from?
Does it matter who I heard it from? The fact is you're getting money from my mom and kept that from me. I checked your bank account and my mom was right. She's been depositing $1,000 a month for the last 4 months. And it seems you've been withdrawing that amount every month. The entire amount. What's that about, huh? What are you using that money for?
Your mom, she's trying to make me out to be the villain. I knew she had it out for me.
Huh? What are you talking about?
About that money that she's been depositing? It's all your mom's fault.
My mom's fault? Excuse me? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Your mom had been making me do her shopping. That's why I was getting the money from her every month. That money was for her shopping stuff. She told me to use that money to go out and shop for her. She was just using me like some errand girl.
Hold it a sec. Erin, you really expect me to believe that? If you're gonna lie, at least make up a better story. No one's gonna believe that farce.
I'm really not lying to you, Neil. It's true. I really mean it.
Please, Erin. I'm really getting sick of you always blaming others for your mistakes. I can't believe you would blame the person that's sending you money, which happens to be my mom. I'm really disappointed in you, Erin. And you were saying you were so depressed and saddened how my mom was treating you. Are you for real?
I'm telling you, it's the truth. Your mom never liked me and would have looked down on me and treated me with such disdain. You get treated that way, you'd be emotionally hurt too.
How am I supposed to believe someone who swindled money out of my own mother? You have to be out of your mind. Man, you really hoodwinked me. I can't believe I fell for your con. If I had known that you were that kind of a person, I would never have married you.
Why won't you believe me, for God's sake? You used to be on my side no matter what. Why now? Why turn your back on me now? You took your mom's word over mine? I thought you loved me.
Yeah, well, I found all your stuff. I took a look in the storage room under the stairs, and guess what I found? A whole bunch of brand goods, like handbags and expensive accessories. All that stuff must have cost thousands of dollars. And to think that you used the money that you swindled from my mom to buy all of that junk? Seriously? Seems like you have a little treasure trove down there.
Wait a sec, Neil. Don't get this all wrong. All that stuff in the storage area, that's stuff from before we got married. I bought everything when I was single and working.
And I know a little bit about recent trends, and what I saw was pretty recent. Some of that stuff wasn't even on sale when you were single.
Well, some trends make a comeback. Like some 70s stuff is popular now. Did you know that? You're confused, Neil. This is not what it seems.
For your information, I did a little research of my own. I checked the prices of all that perfume and some of the clothes online. I was blown over by the cost of some of that crap. No wonder we don't have any money. So you come up with this plan to trick my mom into paying you $1,000 a month. You sure did take me for a fool.
I have to buy very good cosmetics. You know nothing about women. Do you really expect me to go out without makeup? And I can't use the cheap stuff from the drugstore. It would make me look way worse, and I'm allergic to some of that cheap stuff. And this all costs money. It's all necessary items.
Don't give me that. There's not much difference. Besides, you don't need to get the best there is. The cosmetics alone were $1,000. You think money grows on trees?
All my friends have the same or even better stuff. How could I meet up with them with cheap cosmetics? It would be so embarrassing. You want me to be the only one among my friends with the cheapest makeup and perfume? I would be the laughingstock of the whole world.
I'm not saying you should use the cheapest stuff there is. But there are limits to what you can spend. It's not like we're millionaires. I said I would leave all the household expenses to you, but this is just a financial irresponsibility is what it is. And to think I trusted you. By believing in you and trusting you, I got egg all over my damn face.
Why should you even be ashamed? You've got nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah? What am I supposed to say to Mom when I see her next time? I couldn't look her in the eye. And that goes for my relatives too. And Uncle Mark. I trusted you and criticized my own mom.
It's true that I was saddened and depressed because of your mom.
No, Aaron. I think you're just imagining all of that. I'm sorry, but I can't believe a word you say.
Come on, Neil, don't say that. About your mom and me being emotionally hurt, that has nothing to do with me spending money.
I'm saying I don't have trust in a woman that swindles money from her mother-in-law. You can understand that, right?
How could you say that? You're making me out to be a villain because of the money? I never thought you were such a cheapskate. You're pathetic. No, you're the one that's pathetic, Aaron. You really had nerve swindling me like you did. Is that you, Mother? Are you with Neil now? Is he with you? That's right. I was concerned and came right over to your place. Looks like you spend quite a bit on your little hobby. The storage room under the stairs looks quite impressive with all those brand items. Are you planning on opening a store or something? All that stuff, $1,000 a month doesn't seem like enough. You convinced Neil that I was in the wrong here? Pardon me? And you also told our relatives that I was the villain, the bad little daughter-in-law. Neil was the only person on my side. I always thought he would have my back. But Neil, my husband, turned on me. He would much rather believe you. Do you get satisfaction from making me the bad guy? I bet you do. You're really set on kicking me out of this family, aren't you? You don't give a damn what our relatives think of you.
Are you acting the victim here because Neil is here and sees who you really are? Just stop with this I'm the victim here crap.
But it was you who was spreading those lies about me to all the relatives. You, Mother, you've always had disdain for me. You hated me from the get-go.
Yeah, you're right there. Right now, I do have a lot of disdain for you. But when this gets out, the other relatives will hate you even more. And my son, he's always had your back, believed everything you said. He mistrusts you now, and his affection for you has waned considerably.
No, not Neil. He loves me.
No, he's disappointed in you. I think you better be prepared for the worst. This may all end in divorce. I would keep that in mind, Aaron.
He would never divorce me. What are you even talking about? He wasn't able to marry for a long time, and I came along. He would never give that up. He'll never find another wife.
Yeah, that's what I thought for a long time. That's why I supported you all this time, financially even. What's the quote? Bite the hand that feeds you? That's you in a nutshell.
But it's true, he can't get remarried. You know that. We get divorced and he'll be living his senior years all alone with nobody around. You don't want that for him, do you? He's not young, you know. A divorcee at that age, not a pretty sight.
Yeah, but Neil seems to be aware of that fact. I think he's finally realized his ways, and he seems ready to live with that fact.
Live with what fact?
That his wife is a con artist. A pathetic excuse for a human being. That's what. They say love is blind. I guess he was blind for a long time, but he finally saw the light. Now he's fully recovered from that blindness now. He's preparing all the paperwork for the divorce as we speak. He may have to spend his retirement days alone, but he would rather do that than live with you.
No, he would never. I don't want a divorce. I won't give him one. Get him on the line now. I need to talk to him. I'll convince him to see the light.
Oh, so you're going to use your lying skills to try and convince him, huh? I really don't think he'll change his mind. You were probably 100% sure an older guy like Neil would never get divorced. That it was his last chance to stay married, but I think you took way too much advantage of your situation. Your only option now is to just accept it and divorce him. It would be best for all involved.
Please, Mother, I apologize. Please forgive me. I'm sorry I tricked you into giving me money. I admit it. Oh, please forgive me. But just not divorce, please.
I thought I was being kind to you, that I was supporting my daughter-in-law and my son. I was choosing my words carefully so as not to hurt you. But I have to say this, I had it pent up for too long. I would much rather my son be single for the rest of his life than to stay married to a vile charlatan like you. I really don't want anything to do with you any longer. I would appreciate it if you would just pack your stuff and get out of our lives forever. After that, Neil gathered all the brand stuff from that storage room and sold it off at the highest bidder. He paid me back for all the money that I sent Aaron. As for the divorce, he went through with it with the help of his lawyer and got her finally kicked out of that house. Apparently, she ended up staying at a friend's house until she could find a place of her own. Her folks found out about her shenanigans and eventually cut all ties with her. But that wasn't all. While staying at her friend's place, she apparently stole some money from their safe and disappeared. After having to pay my son compensation for the divorce, she apparently had no money left. But her friend pressed charges and got the police involved. After some time, she was found and arrested. That story spread like wildfire, and she no longer had anybody to turn to for help. Fortunately, that was the last I heard of her. My son was a little depressed after that, what with the prospect of being alone for the foreseeable future, maybe for the rest of his days. He felt ashamed for how he treated me, but I have nothing against my son, and I told him that. All the relatives were quite taken aback by all this, but they felt pity for Neil. But I say give it time. Someday we'll all be laughing about this at one of our family gatherings.
Kevin, you there? I really need to talk to you about something.
Huh? What is it, sis?
I just went to my mom's place. She was working her butt off, cleaning the house. She looked so tired.
So?
What do you mean, so? Surely you know that's no good. The main reason you and Carla moved in with her in the first place was because her legs are getting worse. You said you'd take care of everything around the house. Where are you both? What are you doing?
Watch it, Allie. Just because we moved in with Mom doesn't mean my wife has to do all the housework.
I'm not saying she has to do it all. But Mom's been cleaning the house, doing the laundry and preparing all the meals since this morning. I just took her to the supermarket because she said she had some shopping to do. Don't you think you guys might be relying on Mom a little too much?
Mom's doing all that stuff because she wants to. What would you have her do? Sit around doing nothing all day? That's when dementia starts creeping in, you know that?
Still, does that justify leaving absolutely everything to her? What's wrong with splitting the responsibilities?
Now you listen, and you listen good, Allie. You need to remember that me and Carla are the ones who live with Mom, not you. I don't need to hear you preaching at me. You lost the right to an opinion when you moved out.
I have the right to an opinion as her daughter. Mom was never particularly enthusiastic about the idea of you two moving in with her in the first place. The only reason you did is because you practically forced your way in on the pretext you'd take care of everything around the house. Don't you think you're failing to live up to your promise if Mom's rushing around like a headless chicken trying to keep on top of it all?
Today's an exception. We do it most of the time.
You say that, but it was just like this the last time I visited too. Besides, it's Independence Day today, so I know neither of you are at work. Even if Carla's not around, what reason do you have for not helping out around the house? There's no way Mom should be as rushed off her feet as she is right now.
God, you're annoying. If I can't do what I want on Independence Day, when can I?
I wouldn't mind if it really was just today, but it's not, is it? If you're gonna treat Mom like your live-in maid, then she should move in with me instead.
Huh? Why should you get to have her? I'm the eldest son, which means it's my responsibility to look after her.
If you actually lived up to your responsibilities, I wouldn't have to intervene. Besides, I don't think you being the eldest son has anything to do with it.
You moved out when you got married. You have your own place now. How the hell is Mom gonna live with you? What would your husband think? I bet his family would be angry too.
Interesting. You're suddenly an expert on my husband and his family, are you? It just so happens that my husband said he'd be fine with her moving in. And his family aren't the kind of people to get angry over something so trivial.
Yeah, I think I get it now. Are you after the house?
Excuse me?
Bullseye. I remember you telling me you and your husband are renting. I get it now. You want to get your grubby mitts on this house.
Why would you even say that? I have no interest in the house. Me and my husband are fine as we are. Besides, it seems like Mom wants to sell it.
Sell it? No way. Maybe before me and Carla moved in. She'd never sell it with us living here. We'd be homeless. This house has been in the family for generations. It's better for us that we live somewhere full of good memories that we're all familiar with. Anyway, what makes you think Mom wants to sell it? Did she say something?
Well, it's not that she said anything.
Quit making baseless assumptions and sticking your nose into our business then.
You think I like getting involved in your crap, Kevin? There was no way I couldn't say anything after seeing how rushed off her feet Mom was earlier. She's too nice to say anything or complain about it, but I could tell she was stressed out. This is the last thing she needs on top of seeing her surgeon and physiotherapist every week. Would it really hurt to pull your finger out and do a little bit more?
How many times do I gotta tell you? We're already helping. Quit getting all high and mighty about stuff you have no idea about. I know how to be nice to my mom without having you preach to me.
Are you really being nice to her though? Are you, Kevin? Because from what I heard, you still haven't contributed a single cent to the household expenses since you moved in. Mom's been bearing the entire burden of having you guys live with her.
Me and Carla have our own expenses to think about. It costs money to look after Mom. Why should we have to cover the household expenses on top of that?
Jesus, Kevin, you're putting in the absolute bare minimum. Would it hurt so much to pay your way?
If Mom had a problem with it, she'd tell us. We're all just fine. Mom's a grown woman, and she doesn't need little Miss Perfect preaching at me on her behalf. I don't need to hear this crap from you, so just give it a rest already. I'm busy, so quit your whining and leave me alone.
Kevin, where's Mom?
Huh? Mom? Why'd you ask?
When I went to the house just now, your wife told me Mom is gone and she's never coming back.
Carla told you then?
What the hell is going on?
We broke things off with Mom this morning.
You did what? Why would you do that? What does breaking things off even mean?
Me and Carla got sick and tired of looking after her. Do we look like staff at an old folks' home?
You're the ones who moved in with her on the condition you do precisely that. What the hell are you playing at? Besides, she was the one who was helping you out by letting you stay there at all. You would have had nowhere to go if not for Mom's kindness.
Nope, this is all Mom's fault. She refused to give us any more money. I lost my shit, took her bank card, and told her to get the hell out.
You did what? What the hell's gone into you, Kevin? This is an unacceptable way to treat your mother. You need to fix this, now. Call her and say you're sorry.
It's cool. She doesn't have any money, so she'll have to come back soon. Oh, actually, scratch that. I told her never to come back or contact us ever again. Oops, what should I do, LOL?
This is no laughing matter. I keep trying to call Mom, but she won't pick up. She could be anywhere by now.
Jeez, Allie. She's a grown woman, not a little kid. Chill out, would ya?
If I'd have known this was going to happen, I'd have dragged her to my place by force. Why didn't you tell me as soon as you'd kicked her out? Did you forget I said I'd take her in?
You're nothing but a pain in my ass when you get involved in things. I like to keep my engagement with you to a bare minimum. Think about it. All you do is try and paint me and Carla as villains. Why would we want anything to do with you? You're bad news. I really wish my annoying pain-in-the-ass sister was here sticking her nose into my business and criticizing me right now. Said no one ever. Basically, you need to keep your meddling ass away from us. As far away from this house as humanly possible. Carla said just the sight of your face alone is enough to stress her out. So for both our sakes, stay the hell away, okay? Great.
How can I not get involved when you act the way you do?
You know what? I'm on a mission to cut all the toxic people out of my life. And you're next in line. With Mom gone, the house belongs to me now. There's no reason for me to carry on any kind of relationship with you.
Wow, Kevin. You're not worried about Mom in the slightest.
Didn't I tell you to give it a rest? She can take care of herself. Well, I guess this is it. Thanks for being such a meddling busybody all the time. It's been a real pleasure. Not. We're strangers now, so if you come anywhere near us or the house, I'll consider myself to be in self-defense situation and call the cops.
Hello there, Allie dear. How are you? Oh, I'm terribly sorry I missed your calls. I haven't checked my phone all day.
Mom? Where are you right now?
Allie, I want you to know that I'm fine. Please, calm down, dear. I take it you've heard from Kevin that I left the house.
Yes, when I went over earlier, Carla told me you were gone. Then when I messaged Kevin, he said they broke off all ties with you and that you'd left the house and were never coming back.
I wonder where I went wrong with that boy for him to end up this way. I thought I raised you both with the same amount of love, care, and affection.
Why did you give my brother the house and all of your savings? You let him and his wife get away with everything. If anyone was gonna pack their things and leave, it should have been him and Carla, not you. This is all backwards.
Don't worry, dear. Those idiots don't have a clue what's about to happen. Something tells me the situation will have taken care of itself before long.
Huh? What does that mean? Didn't he take your bank cards and put his name on the deed to the house?
Don't be silly, dear. He didn't change the name on the deed. It's still very much my house. Nothing has changed in that regard.
Really? But he did steal your bank cards, right?
He might have stolen some cards, but none of them have anything to do with my bank. Allie, he has my library and gym cards.
Huh? Your library and gym cards?
I had them both stashed away in my little credit card holder. Which is why someone taking them without checking properly might be forgiven for thinking they had access to my savings. Him and Carla are in for a nasty little surprise when they try taking any money out of those things.
So you mean the cards he took are completely useless to him and he has no way of accessing your money?
Exactly. Not only that, but my gym membership ran out last month, and I get a new library card printed as soon as I go there next. So, even they'll be useless to them. They're in for a surprise of a lifetime when they get to the bank.
Wow, I see. But still, what about the house? Even if the name on the deed is still yours, you still left, and now they have no place to themselves. Doesn't that technically make you homeless now? Wanna come to my place? My husband's more than happy to have you here, and of course I am.
You and your husband are so sweet, dear. I'm lucky to have you both.
Well, you could have lived with us from the get-go, remember? But you said you didn't want to inconvenience us and turned down the offer. I know the idea might make you a little uncomfortable, but I promise you we don't mind at all. In fact, we'd be happy to have you. In any case, anything's gotta be better than living with my brother and his wife. Me and my husband actually do things around the house, so you'll be able to relax and put your feet up for once. Won't you at least think about it?
You're so thoughtful, dear. Thank you. In that case, there is something I'd like to ask you. Would you let me stay with you? At least until I find an old folks' home to stay in.
Of course. There's nothing I'd like more. We'd love to have you.
And how would you feel about moving someplace else?
Like moving house? Now that you mention it, our place is a little on the cramped side. But we still have a spare bedroom. Sure, we might bump into each other in the kitchen every now and then, but I don't think it'd be that bad.
Listen, sweetie. Thing is, I've been thinking of buying an apartment. I was thinking of getting a place me, you, and Paul could live in together. What do you say?
Allie, where's Mom?
What do you want?
Answer my question. If you know where Mom is, you need to hurry up and tell me.
Why?
It's the cards I took from her. I thought they were bank cards, but they're not. These things are useless to me. Turns out it's our freaking gym and library cards. Plus, I'm trying to get the name on the deed to the house changed to mine. But I need Mom's identity verification documents.
Huh. Serves you right for taking them without her permission.
If I just knew where Mom was, all my problems would be solved instantly. So if you know where she is, hurry up and tell me. I know you two are still in contact.
Mom's never going back to the house.
I see. So that must mean she's at your place?
Nope.
Yeah, I know you know where she is. Stop playing games and tell me. I'm sat out front on your lawn, and I'm not moving until you come out and tell me where she is.
Do as you please. It's not my problem. I'll just call the police.
The police? You'd call the police on your own brother?
You're the one who said you were breaking off all ties with me. I think of you as a stranger now, just like you told me to.
Allie, you should know the real reason I kicked Mom out. I did it for you.
For me?
Let's face it, she's not getting any younger, and her legs are only going to get worse from here on out. Eventually, she won't be able to walk at all, and she'll need round-the-clock care. But me and you have our own lives to live. We don't have the time or money to afford to be carers 24/7. What use to us is some old-age pensioner who can't even walk? She'd be nothing but a burden. So I did what I had to do before it got to that point. For our futures.
You've got some nerve to speak like that about the woman who gave birth to you and raised you. She'd go to the ends of the earth for you, and this is how you repay her? I could never do that to her. From where I'm standing, it looked like the only reason you kicked her out was to get your hands on her savings and the house. Which part of that had anything to do with me? You did it all for yourselves. You're only saying this now because it backfired and you want me to help you. I'm sure if I did, you wouldn't hesitate to stab me in the back the moment I'd served my purpose, because that's the kind of person you are.
Just tell me where Mom is.
Like I told you, I'm not telling you anything.
Allie, please. Listen, you should know that me and Carla had our reasons for kicking Mom out. Legitimate reasons.
There's no legitimate reason for kicking your mother out of her own house.
I'm in debt.
I see.
That's why I need money. I need to talk to Mom. I kept it as a secret until now, but I'm gonna tell her everything. Then, hopefully she'll be willing to help out. I need money. Bad. That's why I need to talk to her. Help me out. Sis. Please.
Here's a message from Mom. You kicked me out of my house. You're not my problem anymore.
Aha! I knew it! So you are with her. Busted!
It doesn't change anything. You're wasting your time if you really are sat on our lawn. We're moving houses together today.
Where to? Tell me right now. I'll be there ASAP.
You must be kidding. You're the last person I'd tell. You tried stealing Mom's bank cards so you could raid our savings and kicked her out of her own house. Are you even aware of what a piece of crap you are? None of us would lose a moment's sleep if we never saw you again.
I told you, Allie. Please, you have to believe me. I'm in debt. I had no choice.
Stop lying. You and that gold-digging wife of yours just wanted her house and money all to yourselves. To think she's so kind, she even let you live with her despite the fact you pretty much forced your way in. Maybe if you'd have been upfront with her from the get-go, she would have lent you some money. But now, after everything you did, you must be stupid if you think she'd give you anything.
I'll never do anything like that to her again. I swear. I'll be the best son she could ever hope for. I'll get Carla to do all the housework. Please, just tell Mom I want her to come home now. I'll even get Carla to cook her some lunch.
You think lunch is gonna get you out of this? No matter what you say, it's not happening. Anyway, we're all gonna be living together in our brand new apartment soon.
What? You mean with you and your husband? Why do you get to have Mom?
First of all, we don't get to have her because she's a human being and not a piece of property. Secondly, what the hell does it have to do with you? You cut us all out of your lives.
I was only joking. As if I'd say that for real.
Right, of course you were, Kevin. In any case, we don't want anything to do with you either. As for the house you and Carla are living in, you know, the one that doesn't belong to you, Mom just put it up for sale.
She did what?
You weren't able to change the name on the deed in the end, were you? Me and Paul took Mom to the realtors the other day and helped her with the sale procedures. It's up on the market now, and we're already in talks with a few prospective buyers. You need to be out by next month.
What are you talking about? We live here!
So what? It's not your house. When the owner says you get out, you get out.
Is this a bluff? It must be. If it's up on the market, why hasn't anyone been over to appraise it? Busted!
She had it appraised ages ago. This isn't something she just decided to do on a whim, you know. She's been thinking of selling it for a long time now. She had someone over to appraise it when you and Carla were out for a day.
Fine. If we have to leave, give us the money for a new place. Surely that's the least you can do.
You must be joking. Why would you give you any money when you forced your way in there in the first place? None of us, and especially not Mom, have any responsibility to look after you or your wife. You made your bed, now lie in it. Maybe things would be different if you'd actually done anything for her, you know, like helped out around the house like you promised to. But you didn't, did you? It's always nothing but take with you.
God damn it! I need to see Mom. Let me apologize to her.
She never wants to see you again.
Oh man, I really screwed up, didn't I? Can you tell her I'm really sorry? I'm filled with nothing but regret, shame, and disgust with myself. Carla too. Mom deserved better. I'm sorry. We took advantage of her.
I'm glad you finally admit it. But it's too late now. Too little, too late. You're only nice to us when you want something. The rest of the time, you're as vile and unpleasant as could be. That goes for your wife, too. You in the right mind would want anything to do with people like you.
Damn it, I really screwed up. I'm begging you, Allie. Help me out here, sis. I'm never gonna be able to pay off my debts at this rate. And we sure as hell can't afford to move house.
You have another month before you have to be out. I'm sure you'll be able to figure something out between yourselves. If you're so desperate for cash, why doesn't Carla find a job?
How can she find a job when she can't even do housework?
Oh, that's strange. I could have sworn you just said Carla would do all the housework if Mom came back. That was a lie too, huh? What a surprise. You can stop messaging me now.
Allie, please. Don't be so cold. We are in serious trouble here. I owe you an apology too, sis. If Mom never wants to see me again, won't you at least help me? Anything will do. It doesn't matter how small. Please?
You said it yourself, Kevin. Me and you are strangers now. You've got some nerve to come begging for help when you're the one who told me to stay away from you. You said we were strangers and threatened to call the cops on me if I ever came anywhere near you. All I'm doing is following your orders. We're not family anymore, so there's nothing you can say to change my mind. Goodbye. Kevin and his wife showed up at mine and my husband's house after that, but the door was firmly locked, and we made sure it stayed that way. They soon disappeared when we threatened to call the cops. Then, after biding our time until the terrible two weren't around, we called the removal company and moved in with Mom in her new apartment at lightning speed. Of course, we blocked Kevin and Carla so they could never bother us again, and thankfully, we haven't heard from them since. The real estate company we sold the house with happened to be owned by a friend of my mom's. When he sent one of his guys over to check on the place, it turned out Kevin and Carla had left before their period of notice. There were some things left behind, such as my mom's belongings and the household appliances. We hired a handyman to promptly deal with them so we could go ahead with the sale ASAP. A few months after selling the house, I got a message from my cousin saying he saw my brother in the rough part of town. Gaunt and emaciated, Kevin had been seen going into a brothel for male prostitutes. My cousin was just passing by in the car, but when he and Kevin locked eyes, he ran over and started banging on the window begging for money. When my cousin rolled the window down, Kevin told him about how Claire had fallen ill and was in the hospital, and between the medical bills and debt repayments, he now had no choice but to work day and night and hadn't had a day off in months. Normally, you'd want to help your family out if they fell on hard times like this. But this is Kevin we're talking about, and he isn't normal, nor do we consider him family anymore. Needless to say, neither me or my mom have any ounce of sympathy for him. There's no doubt about it, their lives are a train wreck. But that's not our problem, because it's all their fault. Me and Paul are currently enjoying our new lives together, living with my mom in the fancy new apartment she bought. I feel blessed to have the opportunity to live with my mom again. She really is the loveliest, warmest, kindest person I've ever met. I'm super grateful to Paul too. Not every husband would agree so readily to living with their mother-in-law, but he's been amazing from start to finish. Me and him are gonna make up for all the suffering my brother caused her by making her feel as happy and loved as we possibly can. My mom's no spring chicken, and I don't know exactly how long we have left together, but one thing's for sure, I plan on making the most of every day as if it's our last. Let's make some amazing memories. Here's to the future. Let's hope it's a long one.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.